Alrighty, hello, and welcome to Bima's Crafty Corner. My name is Bima, better known as Els, and we're going to do some make-ahead ephemera today. Just for giggles, no big deal. Let me go ahead and share this over here. Close that over here because people have not been getting notifications. Not that in any way surprises me. All right. So, make ahead ephemera. This is not mass making. This is making ephemera ahead so that you have it on hand when you need it. Just like, any of our bases. So we're going to be making some ephemera bases. We've recently made paperclip bases, so we don't need any of those. But we do need some other bases. So I have a bunch of punches. A bunch of punches. A bunch of bunches. So I have this oval. It's like a 1.5 inch oval. I've got like a 1.5 inch square, and I got this weird looking one, and I have a rectangle, and I have like a 2-inch square, and then this weirder looking one, and then I have this ticket, and I have another one that's bigger that's in my bin. A rectangle, a big circle, a small circle, and a smaller oval. And I also have some base pieces. So basically, I'm going to punch a bunch. Punch a bunch? I'm going to punch a bunch of stuff and make a huge kind of mess. This is bigger than I thought. Way bigger. I think I wanted a blue one, but I don't know that I have a blue one. But I do have, this will work for now. And I cut these out of like my file folder scraps. And we all know I have a lot of file folder scraps. Gonna punch a bunch, and then let's see what I can punch out here. Probably get this out of there. Yep, get that. And I don't think I can get any other ones, but I think I can get some of these. Yep. Hey, man. This is just a good kind of way to use up some of these scraps. Hi, Mari. Hi, Steph. And this one. I would say that we have pretty much used every inch of that we could. We're going to do some of these. Doop. Doop. I got to get rid of this. Open it up. Get that out of there. Isn't that like the first thing we all pull? Like we all go, oh no. Because it's just easier to punch and have them fly all over the place than it is to have it in there. All right. Whole bunch of those. Hi, Christine. Everybody's saying hi, Hubbard.
Hello. Happy 4th of July.
Let's see if we can get some of these out of here. Now, I like these. These are from Marvy, and I like them because they're color-coded. Like, you can get the right, size by getting the color. I'm done with that one. Do that. Read a few more of these. Get rid of this. I don't know if you can get one of these out of here. Just. Well, that lives on the floor now. So how's everybody's holiday going? Anybody barbecue? Anybody get any good barbecue? Well, we started with this, so let's do some more. Now, you don't have to use punches. If you've got dies that you can use, like layered dies, shaped dies, those will work for this too. I'm not going to get another one there. The idea here is just to create the basis. All right. So I'm going to get rid of that real quick. Get rid of these. Over there. And I have some of this too. And this is just a sheet from that newspaper book that I have. That vintage newspaper. It's headlines from the LA Times. And I have a bunch of these. So, I'm going to cut some of these. And this is just folded in half, and I used some stick glue. This is the Fatty Arbuckle case. It was a big one in LA. Yeah. I may not use this side, though, to be honest. I'm probably going to use that side. But we'll see. 1, 2, 3. I'll cut that off. Give myself a new edge. Okay. Sorry about that. Your dog's freaking out. I'm so sorry. Hi, Michelle. Hold on a second. She's driving me crazy. Okay. All right. So we did little squares. We did some rectangles. I'm going to do some of these out of this vintage. That would be cool. I'm not going to get a lot, though, because that's not a lot of vintage right there. Michelle and I were on the phone one night, and I was showing her how to find her vintage ones of these, which ones were vintage and which ones weren't. She's digging through a pile of them going, is this one? Is this one? Yes, that one is. No, that's not. All right. Those over there. Those over there. Let's see. What do we want? Those. Let's do a couple of these. Ooh, I hate these things. Hold on. Find out who this is because they're driving me nuts. Okay. All right. So I have those. Okay. Did we cut any of these in the small ones? We did. Okay. And we did cut some big ones. We'll cut back. We'll probably cut more. I'm going to cut some of these. This is actually just cardstock, but it's a good weight. It's like an 80 as opposed to a 65. Okay. So I have some of those. We cut some of these. Let's get rid of that. Over there. These over here. Over these. Over here. Just working with punches right now. Just punches. All right. Now, let me get this out of the way. Do it quick. Went to the spare parts store. It was okay. Daughter-in-law found fabric and thread. That's cool. Cool. Yeah, Mari's getting a lot of rain right now. The dog was never afraid of me before. Then last year I took him outside when the fireworks started, and that's it. Now he's terrified, checking on me, hitting my hand, holding me like a baby. One of the river parks over flooded, and some kids that were camping got swept away. 13. Damn. Damn. Okay. So I have those all out of my way for the moment. Let's get this put up here and let's get these down. So what I do is like I have the bigger pieces like this. And like I said, I got the wrong size. But normally I would like have a smaller one, slightly smaller. I could go look, but I'm not in the mood to go look for it. So we're going to skip circles, I think. We'll come back to those later. Okay, so we have these. And I don't have any, I don't have a scallop like this, but what I do have is this, and that'll work. So I'm going to put that on there. If I can get the glue bottle to work, see, because it was working perfectly this morning. I just want to use up what's in here, so it's being stubborn. Now, you can ink these in a basic color. Like if you always use like the same brown or the same black, go ahead and ink that before you do it. Or you can just cut a whole bunch of these pieces and just put them in a box, you know. It's up to you. But what I do is I just ink them and I put them together just like that. That's it. Oh. Good thing he's only 9 pounds, right? That came out a little wonky. What the heck? Oh well, we'll use it anyway. It'll give it some, we'll offset this, give it some visual interest, and move on. See, just set it cockeyed, and it works. Now we have these, and for some reason I put those out of there instead of out of the newspaper, so we'll get some more of those. Little yellow one. And like I'm using newspaper, but you can use book page or, you know, just regular paper if you want. Now I could use these, or on this if I had it, you know, instead of using the newspaper ones. I just cut a bunch of the newspaper. Where did it go? Here's one. Okay. Could you just forget this and get out of my way? Okay. I don't know what Harry did earlier. He scared the crap out of himself. He was down here in the kitty cave, sound asleep, snoring. One minute he's snoring, and the next minute he jumped up and ran out of there. Then he looked at me like that never happened. Oh, it shouldn't even be that long. They usually only go about 45 minutes. Well, you got fires everywhere, woman. She was just telling me the other day they gave them a warning for an evacuation. Oh, but they didn't have to go. Which I find kind of terrifying because she doesn't drive anymore. So if her husband's at work, how the hell is she supposed to evacuate? Now let me look over here because I know I got, yeah. One of these. Let me take a piece here. Yeah. So if I don't want to do it with book page, I just do it with one of these, and then I don't even have to ink anything. I mean, I could put white ink on it, but yeah, that wouldn't work. We do have one more of these, so we'll do one more. And they don't have to be the same shapes, either, you know? Per se. Like that one. And that lives on the floor now. And I'm going to do this one. Because like this one, you know, it's a scallop on the outside and it's a straight rectangle on the inside. And then, let's see, this one, I don't think this one's going to be big enough. Nope. What is this? This is 1.5 inches. I need 1 3/4 inches. And I don't think I have 1 3/4 inches. I know I have a 2-inch back there. Oh well, I'm going to punch one of these and see how it works. It'll work. It just shows a little bit, you know? That's kind of cool. If I wanted more to show, I could put this up on dimensional, you know, on foam tapes. That'll work. All right, we'll do a couple of those. Where did I put that punch? There it is. Okay, right in front of me. Right in front of your face, dum-dum. And here. And we'll do one more. Okay. So we'll do like 4 like that. I need more ink. Let's see. Hubbard's has had a very boring shift. But at the price they're paying him, who cares?
I'm good with it. I can be bought.
You can be bought, honey. It's one of your best qualities.
I can be bought. I've always said, I'll shovel shit. You pay me well enough. That's my thing. You know, you pay me. Yeah. Consider that shit done.
Steffi G's in the house. Hey, Steffi. So, did anybody hear about that thing down in Florida? We were watching the video earlier. Apparently, they had a storm last night, and it hit their fireworks display, and like a whole crap load of their fireworks went off.
Destroyed the equipment, everything.
But it destroyed all the launching equipment and everything, so they have to cancel their entire display. I was like, oh man, I'd be so mad. We need some of these. Yes, yes. I don't care how much you try, it's not going in there. One, two, three. Not going to get any more of those. Death. Yeah, let's do that one, and then we'll save it for Halloween. We'll save that one to make ephemera for Halloween. It's a special one. Set that one up there. But yeah, so they're like they're trying to tell people not to bring any fireworks. They're still going to have like the river walk thing and the vendors and the music, the live music and everything. But they've already got people at like 1:00 this afternoon. They had people when they were telling everybody, "Hey, we're not doing fireworks," and no, you can't do your own on the beach. They had people packing up and leaving. I don't blame them. If I had little kids and I was going to go see the fireworks, I want to see the damn fireworks.
Where else is the safest place to do it? Towards the lake or water or
Yeah.
on a beach,
On the beach is about the safest place to do it. And they were telling people they couldn't, so.
Set up a card table about 10 feet out into the water,
Right?
Piece of plywood on top of it or something if you like the card table.
Start blowing stuff up, man. All right, let's see. Cut a lot of smalls. I didn't cut a lot of bigs. I'm going to cut more bigs. All right, let's cut some more bigs. We need this one. Cool. One, two, three. Yes, okay, 3. All right. Then I'm going to have to make another thing of newspaper too, or book page or something. I just like the newspaper because it has that like older look to it. And it is on newsprint. The whole book was made on newsprint, so it's kind of cool. But you know that if you've ever bought a piece of this from me. I do sell it from time to time. I got another one coming in, actually, because I'm almost out of this one. La, 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 la. You do have to be a little bit careful, though, on what words you put facing out. But, you can always cover that later with stuff. Okay. So you all know how I like my make-aheads. So these, I put them, I have a bin for them, and I put them in the bin. And then when I need a base for something, I can pull it out and use it. If I want to make like a cluster or something, I already have a base that'll work in anything. And they're very generic. All right. Hey, B. All right. Move those over. We still have 2 of these. Need bigger squares. So. I know I have a big bigger square here someplace. Oh, there it is. It got shooed over to the side. That one. Ooh, let's see if I can get one more. Ooh, barely. Barely. Didn't come out wonky though. So that's cool. See, and even these, if I'm not going to put stuff on top of them, I can still hold on to them because they're good for using as bases, you know? And again, I have like these I can still do, you know? Just ink that up and make it look like it's tea dyed. Slap it on there. But if you have layered shapes, this will work with those as well. I just like the convenience of the punches, so. So one of these days I'm going to show you guys. Maybe I'll do it tonight. We'll see. Hold on. Let me get these done. We'll put this on here. This one will do. And you can use your scrap paper. Like if you have scrap paper that's not, okay, let's be honest. Everybody has a style, you know, basically. Like some people like to do vintage. They do a lot of vintage. Some people like to do flowers. You know, they do everything pink. Everything's roses and pink. So if that's your jam, then you probably have, you okay? Oh. Did I scare you? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You probably have like a whole bunch of scrap paper that's roses and pink. And if that's your jam and that's, you know, what you use when you do your journals and stuff, then there's no reason why you shouldn't use that paper to do this. Okay. So let me put these to the side real quick. I'm going to pull one of these and we're going to take a look. Let me pull the little one. It's easiest to get to. Not necessarily the easiest one to get out. But. So I have little liners like this, little drawers. And in them I got these when I was on my trip to Michelle. Right? Aren't those cute? They're for the hotel we stayed in. So I have this, and like these are like make ahead things. This is actually pages from I think these are My Porch Print. I'm not sure, but I just made them smaller and made these little like writing pieces out of them. So that I can put, ooh, there's a bee one right there with a beehive on it. We might use that in our bee journal. Let me see. Yeah, we're going to use that in the bee journal. Okay, these are all insects, but that one's bees. And I just kind of keep them in here. I have some pockets. I do a lot of botanical journals, so I have some pockets that I made. I have some of these pockets. These are made from scrapbook paper that's single-sided. And then I have like my make aheads. These are my my dupes of Tim Holtz cards. Those are in there. And then I have these, which are my little trifolds that I use for making journaling cards sometimes. It's very general paper. Okay. This is a little bit, you know, specific, but if you decorate, you're never going to know it. But I try to generally stick to, you know, things like this that are very generalized. Very basic, like this, typewriter keys. I have some little teeny mini envelopes that we use when we make those little envelope paper clips. Again, they're just made out of neutral paper. I have some kimono paper clips, again, made out of very neutral papers. These are the taller version of the Tim Holtz pieces. These are the flip over file cards. And so I just keep kind of this set These are all different kinds of, like, these are the punched ones that I have. I have the actual punch for those, the die form. But these are ones that I've made by hand out of general, like they're just basic papers, nothing that's too overly specific. These are those Z-fold ones for journaling cards. Now, these are a little bit more specific because these are for making calling cards if I want to do calling cards and something. And these are the bases for those little vintage greeting cards. But I keep this and a whole bunch more like it in my cart over here. Let me get that back in. That did not work. Hold on. Come out of there. Okay. But I keep them in my cart over here so that if I want to add something to a journal or folio, I can. These are my big tickets with the journaling cards on the sides, my big tags. God, I came up with that years ago. Now everybody and their mother does it. Nobody ever said they got it from me, but oh well. So there's those. And then these trifold ones, I have a couple of blanks of those. And these are nice because you can actually cut one part of it and make a pocket on the front. So you can have a pocket here and then open it up and have a big journaling card. You can make it shorter if you want it to as well. But I already have the blank, so I can cut it off and round it if I need to. So that's that one. Then there's this one. Excuse me. This is the zigzag pocket. Whoop. It goes there. It goes there, and that goes there. And I'll just trim that off when I leave it like this so I can decorate it. I can put paper on it. Then I fold that in, bring this over, glue it all the way around, and I've got, a zigzag pocket ready to go. And I just do those in whatever color I happen to have. And this one here, you can see I've trimmed the top piece off so that when you fold this, you don't see, And so it's, if I put a finger notch back here, it's 1, 2, 3 pockets. So I have some of those that I keep on hand. Oh, they go right there. I keep them flat between two of the bins. Just makes my life easier. I have no idea why this stuff's in there. That's just a piece of cardstock. Move it over there. Hey, that's my mixed media tag from a while ago. Oh, that's right. I'm sending that to Michelle. It goes over there. Yes, there is a tutorial for those trifolds. I will find it for you. But I have like 3 bins, and that's actually the narrowest of them. Most of them are about that wide. And they're all just full of, different, these are the over-the-top tags. And they're just really just blank. Totally ready to be decorated, but I don't have to stop and pull out a file folder and make this and cut it down and do all of that stuff. I can just grab this. Same thing with these. These are the file folders that have the little pockets on the front. So I could just come in and do that, do wherever I want my tab, put a finger notch in, glue this down, and it's ready to go. I don't have to stop and make those things. I think that's probably why I can make journals as quickly as I do, because most of the stuff that I use is ready to go. Let's see. Here's another one. This is, you guys have seen me do this. This is one of those pockets, but it's the paper clip. that slides onto the page. And so you can decorate this and then around the corners. But I already have the base made. The paper clip's already glued in. It's in there. It's solid. Then all I have to do is come in around my corners, do a little inking, put on whatever paper it is that I want to put on it, put in a finger notch, easy to do. Put in a finger notch and just slide that into a journal. So that's another thing that we do as a make-ahead. Where did that come from? Right there. What's another popular one? These are the book page envelopes. So you have a writing space here, you have a pocket here, and you have the flaps. You can put this sideways, you can put it up and down on a page, however you want to do it. This is a book page pocket. It's one, and this is two-piece. We did this one live. You have a pocket here, a pocket here, a pocket here, pocket there, and a pocket back here if you want it. We did these live, I think, 2 weeks ago. So those, this is just what it looks like. It's just a piece of book page folded into thirds. And one side of this opens. Which side? This one, I think. One of these opens. I can't get that one open. So that one's all chanky at the bottom. And it opens at the top. But it's just a base to use. To make, these are all like pressed because they're really thick in there. Which side do I leave open? I don't know. I left one side open. Oh no, these are totally different. This is I do these 3 fold over so I have them if I need to like punch pieces. That's what those are. This one is a pocket. So you glue it in. You've got a pocket here, and a pocket there. And then this one, I believe. Yep, this is the one I was looking for. So this one is just a piece of book page folded into thirds. And it's just a pocket. You can glue it in to a book and just, slide stuff into it. Same idea, only for this one, I tucked this down and rounded my corner, either direction. And so they're just bases. Holy crapinoli, did I actually do one of these? From the book that shall not be named? No. No, I did it for punching. Okay, because it's thick. And I wanted to make it like cardstock. That was an experiment. But I have like a whole bunch of these. And like these tall ones with the big bookmarks in them, we've got some of those in there. So it's just about figuring out what you use and then make those things in advance, but know when to stop, Know when you're going to stop. These I'm going to use for something. That's why I made them. So I'm going to put them over here so I remember. Hi, Tammy. It's not. I'll tell you what. There is a playlist. Let me see if I can find that one. That one I know I can. Let me see. Go here. We can go up here. Playlists. Here we go. No, that's wrong. We don't want to do that. We want to fold up playlist. Here we go. Copy. Paste. All right, so this is a playlist. And it's all of my make-aheads. So the zigzag double pocket is in there. That's the one that you were asking about, Maureen. The windowed pocket or tag journal cards is in there. Mixed media package make-aheads. Those are in there. Harry's tags. Those are in there. Scrap Buster 10,000. Getting rid of all the tiny little scraps that we have. The magnetic page markers are in there. Removable tabs are in there. Again, it's all something you can make ahead and just don't decorate it. I do decorate some of them in the videos, but you know, you can make them ahead and then stop. And there's always a place in the video where I tell you to stop. So we have file folder wallets. We've got 6x8 or 8x8 book page pockets. It's a beginner's project, very simple to do. The mini tabs, small notepads, those are all in there. Again, you can do with very general paper, very, you know, middle of the line paper. And like I said, you know your style. If you're somebody who's always doing pink and roses, or you're somebody who's always doing purple, or, you know, then you can get a little bit more exploring. But a belly band with a bookmark in it, the 3-panel journaling spots, all of that stuff. It's all in there. There's a whole bunch. Even the Tim Holtz word chips that I did. There's another playlist. Let's see, where is it? Looking to see if I can find this. I'm pretty sure I have one other playlist that is all the dupes for Tim Holtz. But I'm not doing it. Might be an on the cheaps. Okay, there is some in here. But if you put in TH in my on my main screen, if you put in TH, it'll bring up all the Tim Holtz dupes, because every time he comes out with something, I generally tend to dupe it. I take the time to find out the measurements, which he does not. I'll be honest with you. In order to make it so that he can copyright it, he has like very strange measurements, 11/16, you know, that kind of thing. So I take it down to real numbers. And I do it so that you guys have it and can make his projects. All right, we're going to use that. So I'm putting it over here because that's going to go in the beeger. Yeah, it's in the Sammy's playlist. Timmy's book. So even these, like, even though I'm not going to do that with them, you know, you can take these and just make these punches and put them, because how many times have you wanted to do like a cluster or something and you can't find the right size punch? Or you have an image that you want to put and you don't have the right size punch? Or you can't find that scallop punch that you like. You can only find the one with the bigger scallops that you don't like. So just punching a bunch of this stuff, one, it's going to help you get rid of a whole crap load of your like unwanted leftover scraps of paper. But it's also going to help you get rid of these, your leftover offcuts from your file folders that you didn't know what to do with before. So you can use them as bases, because let's face it, they're perfect bases. You can also make tag bases out of them, all different sizes. It doesn't matter. I watched a video today, and the lady was making, she was making a version of one of the pockets that I do, that I actually it's not a pocket. It's like a little folio mini thing. I did it for Frances, I believe, and she was doing a version of that. Now she gave somebody else credit for it, and I know who she gave the credit for, and I know why she gave them the credit. She gave them the credit because they have a habit of doing my projects, and then saying that they came up with it. But neener, that's on them because when I do an original project, I put it in an envelope and I mail it to myself so that I have basically a copyright on it. Yeah, so I know who did it. It's my original project. But we're not going to talk about that because I'm not that petty. Look, if you got to steal my stuff, go for it. Eventually, I guess they would have figured it out because, there's only so many ways to fold a piece of paper. All right, so let's go to just weird shapes. Okay, is that paper that you just punched out from the Los Angeles Times book? I have a tabletop book from the Los Angeles Times stories. It looks just like those. Let me see. Does it look like this? Yeah. This is what I use. And the reason for that is that the front pages are public domain. The front pages of those newspapers are public domain. If I bought that newspaper, it's public domain. And I lived in, Los Angeles through the 80s. So, I may have had this paper. But yeah, newspapers are one of those things that they really don't copyright. But yes, you can gut this puppy up and go for it. I also have the Chicago Tribune and a couple other ones. So yeah, rip it up. Have a good time. All right. So the other ones are like these, like the shape ones. If you have like the layered dies that are like this, you could do this with the layered dies. I just like the base on this, It's quirky. So I'll have some of these in my little box, which is currently in the filing cabinet. All right, so we got like 4 of those. I'll take this off of here. I think I'll probably be able to get one more, maybe. Yeah. One more from there, okay. So these, along with those, I will just put in my bin, in my box, and I can pull them out when I want them to use them on something. Hairy hair. This is another one. This is a fantastic shape. This is a Stampin' Up! Punch. Ooh. Look at how cool this shape is. It's just a cool shape, you know? So we have that. And I actually have, two of these. I have the little one, which is this one. This is the one thing I don't like about Stampin' Up! Punches. They have a double punch. See, it does that little thing. I hate that. It wastes paper as far as I'm concerned. All right, so we got 3 of those. You know what? I should have punched those out of here. Let me get rid of this real quick. Nobody wants that. One, 2, 3. Okay, so I got those. Two of the coffee table books. I have one coffee table. I took signatures. Or 2 copies of pages and leave for journals. Yeah. That's kind of the thing. We've done this a couple of times, but I'll go over it again. If you purchase something, okay. So anyway, this is the bigger one. And this one's actually from EK. It's the same shape as the Stampin' Up! One, but it's bigger. Okay, so about 10 years ago, who was it? It was, I'll remember. Now, this I really don't have that much of a use for, but I keep them anyway because you never know when you're just going to want to put a word on it. You know? All right, so a while ago, and I think it was Cricket. Yep, Cricket. Now I remember. Cricket. See, watch. Doo-doo. That fits. It's not perfect, but it fits. Cricket came out a while ago with, this was a long time ago when they first came out with the Cricket. They came out with the original Cricket, and what they tried to do is they tried to say that people could not use it to sell stuff. Okay? Because there were people who were like making little businesses out of it. They were cutting bumper stickers and they were cutting like window clings and stuff like that. And they were selling the pieces and they were using the Cricut cartridges to do it. And Cricut tried to get that shit stuff shut down. Well, they went all the way to the Supreme Court. And you know what they were told? Tough teetles. When you make a product that is designed to make something else, it's going to make that something else. This was their example. If someone makes stained glass, just the glass, like not a picture, just the glass, okay? And then they sell that glass to a company that does stained glass windows. And they use that glass to put a window in at a church. The guy who made the stained glass can't go after the guy who made the window and go, You violated copyright by using my stained glass in that window. That's what its intended purpose was. Its intended purpose was to make stained glass windows. And that's what he's done. So Cricut can't make a product, print a paper or vinyl or anything else, or make a pattern, and then say, well, you can't use this pattern to make another product. Because under copyright, if you alter it by more than 10%, then you have changed the copyright. So when you go on Etsy and you buy paper, now I'm not saying that this is like you should not go on Etsy and steal it. You know what I'm saying? I purchased, I bought a bunch of paper from Temu, and when I realized some of it did come from Etsy, I went and I bought the kits from Etsy, from the artist, okay? But nobody on Etsy can put that like limit on there that says, sometimes they'll say like, well, you can only use this 5 times, or you can only use it 10 times. They can't do that. Once you buy it, you're buying the right to use it. And the right to use it is the right to use it as many times as you want. No, you cannot sell it as your own original work, but if you alter it in some way, i.e. put it into a journal or a scrapbook, then you can sell that product, that end product, because they are a supplier of a product that is intended to be reused and sold, used and sold in a completely different product. So we've gone through that. There it is. Night, Benny. So the Supreme Court told Cricut, no, you can't. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. No, you can't. You can't sell it and then tell people that they can't use it to do what they want. What are they supposed to do? Cut out letters and wallpaper, their bathroom? No. People are buying that because they want to make scrapbook pages. They want to make journals. They want to make scrapbook pages. They want to make vases with names on them, whatever. That's why they bought your product to begin with. Is that not what the product is for? The product is to design, craft art in order to now, on the other hand, if the image is already in public domain, you can't alter it and then claim copyright on it. I have like 7 of them right now. So there's a couple of websites where you can look it up, but research like Angel Policy. I got to tell you, every time I go into Etsy and I buy a paper set in there, and they have that little thing that says, it's supposed to be where you put the personalization, but they'll always put in like, write yes to agree to our policy. I always put no. And then I get the paper pack anyway. Nothing prevents me from buying it. You're offering it free. Like I'm paying for it, but I'm paying for the right to use it. I'm paying for the right to use it in any way that I see fit. I can wallpaper my bathroom. I can paint my car with it. I can make a journal and sell that journal, and I can make 50 journals and sell those journals. It's not like creators are sitting here going, "Oh, I've used this set from so and so. Let me put a tick here. Oh crap, I've used it 24 times. On the next one, I'm going to have to buy it again." No. Exactly, Patty Ann. Exactly. You can't put out a product that, like more of a copyright infringement are people that tear up magazines and put the magazine images on paper and then call it their own art. No. Those images, that's not what the intent was. That particular item, a magazine, was not intended for you to cut it up and glue the pieces down. Technically, that's a no-no. If that makes sense. Because those images are owned by the photographer and they're leased by the magazine. Those images weren't designed for you to then take it and make art out of it. That's a no-no. Now, if that magazine is from 1920, you have a blast. It's way older than it's now public domain. But on the other part of it, once that magazine is put out into public domain and you've paid for it, you can do whatever you want with it, but you can't sell it. You could use it for your own personal stuff, but you can't sell those images. Does that make sense? Right. You can't take a Daphne's and use any of the images that are in it and sell it. Now, the projects, like if they have a project in there, like, hey, make this little doll. And you're like, oh, that's really cute. I'm going to do it. And they have a little sewing pattern and everything. That you can make because you're going to alter that more than 10% because you're going to make it your own. So this you could sell as an end product, but you can't sell the image of it. That makes sense. Oh, I hate when that happens. But yeah, once they like, no, you can't buy a set of paper from, let's say, My Porch Prints. Okay, you can't buy a set of their digitals and then turn around and list them on Etsy exactly as they are. It's not going to work. You can't do it that way. But you can take their digital, make a project out of it, and then sell that project because now you've altered theirs. That's why a lot of them say you can't use it in whole or in part as is, no digital reselling. Those things you can't do. You can't digitally resell it. Now, can you give it to somebody? Yeah, I can buy a set of digitals and it's going to be in my folder, and then I can buy that with the intention of sending it to anybody. I'm going to buy this because I've had people buy digitals for me because they thought that it would be good in a journal that I was doing at the time. So you just have to, it's a slippery slope, but it's not. If it's in a magazine and you buy the magazine, you can use it for your own personal stuff. You can't resell it. You can't resell the images. Okay? But there's a certain amount of, yes, you can, because you can buy an old magazine in a thrift store. So it's kind of a weird thing. Best thing is just don't claim any of that shit your own. Do not take a piece of something, you glue it on a piece of paper and go, this is my original art. No, it's not, because you're using somebody else's art. You haven't altered their art. Their art is still whole there on that piece of paper. Just keep that in mind. Yes, Michelle's getting a new computer. He's trying to tell you. So there are some yes and no's and some do's and don'ts when it comes to copyright and stuff. All right, so what else can I make ahead? These. And I can do them in just colors or in just basic scrapbook paper or basic cardstock. Let me see what I have. All right. Okay. We'll use this one. All right. So whether you're using a punch like this or you have a set of tab dies, just making a bunch of these is a good make ahead. If you use Timmy's paper all the time and you've got a little teeny piece of Timmy paper, make some punches out of it because you're going to be able to use those at some point. Somebody's getting demanding.
Go.
You getting bored, baby?
Feels like it should be a Saturday. Oh.
Uh-huh. And this one. Dang, we really used up that piece. Used it and abused it.
That's what you're supposed to do.
That's all I have left. It's a Saturday Eve. Carla says it's a Saturday Eve.
Yeah, but I still got to work Saturday. Tomorrow's going to be worse.
All right, so I got a whole bunch of tabs out of that. And we will put them in our tab box. We did these a while ago. Some of these we did during Tabapalooza, where we did all kinds of different corner rounders and stuff to see what we could come up with. So we have a whole bunch of those. Plus now we have a whole bunch of whale tails in there. So put that up there. So if I need a tab, I can just grab it and, do what I got to do. You need tabs? Okay. You mean my scraps? My tiny little scraps? Yeah, I suppose I could take those off of there. Let's see. Ink that up and make a little label out of it. But I'm going to be honest, I have so much damn paper. Hubbard's kind of happy when I throw the stuff away.
Much happier when you sell the stuff.
So you need how many tabs do you need, Michelle? We punching forever.
Buggy over here.
Get Buggy over here, right? I got to tell you guys, Buggy was such a help to me. So I bought some fabric when I was down at Janie's, and I bought it for the intention of making, fabric ribbon. So two different kinds of fabric. And so I was sitting here the other day and I was chatting and I was tearing it. And I was like, I got to put it on something. So I got out my spindle one, my spools. And I didn't like that it was just one solid color. So I cut this little section. So Bug cut all of these out for me. And then I cut the sections and glued them all together. So I could make these little spools. And make them pretty. 50, please. 50. Where's my notepad? Okay, let's see. 50 sorted tabs for Miss Annoying. She knows I love her. Tammy, I'm probably going to have some in the 10 pastel colors. You want them in pastel? You need help, Michelle.
She likes your pastels. I've heard this.
Wimpy colors. Okay. Yes, I still love you. Yes, I have a sale tomorrow. I don't know that I'm going to have any tabs in it. I don't think I do. I'll look and see what I have in the filing cabinets in the store. I might have some in there that I can pull, but I have to send some to Red too because I told Red I'd give her some. I know. Horrible, right? Pastels. What do I look like? Do I look girly to you? Shush. Don't tell anybody my secrets. All right. So now I have all of my pre-cuts, my pre-punches. Normally I would cut, but I didn't cut any. And my thing is in the drawer over there, so I can't put these away. That sucks. Do I have a bin somewhere that I can put them in for now? I do not. I have to have a bin around here someplace. I always have bins. Here bin, here bin, here bin, bin. Aha, I found a bin. Okay. Does it have a lid? Okay. I have a bin and I have a lid. My actual bin is in the other room. So I will put these into a bin like this and put the lid on. And then I will put this on my cart, standing up like this. And the one I have has a title on it here that says bases. And it just goes on my cart right over here. The other bin, I was cutting them, and I was cutting them in the other room because that's where I have my electric one. And it's in the other room. Is Red lurking? No. Okay, so you need to be able to write on them and then read what you write on them. Okay. I know. I've got till tomorrow afternoon. No. I'm not going to sit here and cut tabs all night. I have other things to do, including getting the sale together because I haven't done it yet. Which I have to get done tonight because I have to send that list out. Is my sale tomorrow? My sale's not till Sunday. Sunday, don't rush me. I haven't put the pre-list out yet. It'll be out by tomorrow. No, tomorrow is not the sale. Sunday is the sale. Mess with me, you guys. Hold on. All right. This is what we're doing. Tomorrow at about 2:30 in the afternoon, we are going live with Patreon. So if you're part of the Patreon and you bought the quarterly kit, looks like this. If you got the quarterly kit, it should come in your last sale pack. If you got the quarterly kit, you will get the link. It'll be in the Patreon group, in the YouTube, Facebook group, that one, the Scaventure group. Okay. And then tomorrow night, we're going to have mixed media at 6. And then Sunday is the sale. Don't mess with me. So I'll have the game Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon, we'll have the sale. And then there's a whole week of stuff. There's a stamp video. I found them. Just making easy ephemera with like your stamp sets. See here, this is, see, base. I cut out bases. And then I can use the bases to make whatever I want. So we're going to be doing some stamp ephemera. Using some of our stamps. Just kind of doing it. And then on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have a beginner's class. It's a 3-part. And it is making this little journal right here. So it's a single signature journal. You got your pocket. You've got some stepped pockets. Pocket at the top. You have a nice big pocket in the back. That's your back cover. And then here's a belly band and a big pocket with some writing paper. And if you flip that over, you've got a nice tuck in here and then 2 pockets here. And, you know, you could put another one here and you could put another one here. You can put all the pockets you want on it. But it's, this is a folio, single signature folio journal. And we've got a video coming up for that. It's a 3-part class. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yes, tomorrow afternoon we're doing StreamYard. Tomorrow evening, tomorrow afternoon is Patreon. Tomorrow evening is mixed media. Sunday morning is the game, and Sunday afternoon is the sale. Don't mess with me, people. I'm cuckoo enough as is. Explains why you can't find it, because I ain't put it up yet. Yeah, I really haven't gotten it together. I've got one bin of chit over there, and I haven't gotten anything else put together. So I'll get it. I'll get it. I'll get it. I will get off my lazy butt and get it done. It's just been so icky. My head's been hurting, and my sugar went down to 64 today, and I couldn't get it to come back up. And then I went in the bedroom to lay down, and my blood pressure was at 97/68. Not good. 97/58. Yeah, that was it. Patreon is tomorrow at 2:30. 2:30. So, yeah, so I've had a rough day, guys. Give me a break. Stop trying to break me. Y'all are wrong. I don't understand it either, because I hate. This one needs its thing back on. Let me slide right back on. I don't know what the big deal is. Slide off, then slide on. Yay! Hold on. I look. Inbox. Go inbox. Hi, there it is. Open up. Yay. Okay, let me go over here. We'll do this. I gotta find it now. It's in the download. That one. It's coming up. Oh God, here he is. He's here. He's here. Yay. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm posting that for Mari because she doesn't have Facebook. Yes, 2:30 here, 3:30 Mountain, 4:30 Central, 5:30 on the East Coast. All right, that's it, guys. That's all I got. I am going to I'm going to get off of here because I need to do my blood sugar check and eat some food, and I need to take my Excedrin because it has not rained. It has like spit for 2 days, but the pressure is redonkulous. Are you talking to me again, even though I made fun of you? Yeah? Okay. He's so funny. He's got a friend, a little black and white tuxedo cat that lives down the way that comes over all the time. Like, can Harry play? He literally comes down and sits on the hood of my car and waits for me to come outside and then like looks at me like, can Harry come out and play? And when I put Harry out in the backyard, he comes and lays down by the cage. And the two of them just lay there, stare at the birds. It's Harry's friend. I know. You need a girlfriend, though. All right. Getting my Excedrin. Here we go. Putting it in my mouth. Okay. So if you're new here and I haven't offended you, give me a chance. Subscribe. Hang around a little longer. It might happen. It will happen. It always happens. I offend everybody at some point. Shit, even my kids have told me at times, Mom, that's a little offensive. What else? Check out the Ko-Fi. You can get some free digitals over there, or check out my Patreon and support the channel. It's entirely up to you. Check out the community or the posts or the comments or whatever the heck it is here on YouTube this week, or over on the Facebook group. Both of those places have a listing that tells you everything that I got going on in my digital world. So go on and check those out. Until I see you again, stay cool, stay hydrated, stay well, my friends. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Yes, I know. Noodles is the bumble. I did. I put the pic in the group. It's Mari's. I put it in for her. All right. I love you guys. Bye.